So good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with me, Susan Bell. And I wanted to talk to you this morning a little bit about knowing your why. Knowing your why is super important, and I'm sure we've discussed it before, but I recently met a therapist and she put herself in a little bit of a predicament. And she had a busy schedule, but then raised her prices because she felt she was worth more, and then noticed that her client base is a little lean because some people couldn't make the transition. So I asked her why, and she really said, had to think about it a minute and said, because I'm worth more. And I said, well, if you're worth more, and honestly, it's so hard to explain. I want to tell you a story. Let's start by telling you a story. When I was teaching real estate, I would pose a question to the group, and we have about 35 to 40 people in the room. And I'd say, how many of you own your own house? And a lot of them would raise their hand. And I would say, how many of you know what your house is worth? And a lot of them would raise their hand, and I would say, what is your house worth? $245,000, $305,000. And they would go on and they'd name all these numbers. And I would say, well, you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong. And they would all look at me. And one lady got very defensive, and she's like, I know what my house is worth. I just had an appraisal done on it. I said, you're still wrong. Your house is worth what somebody will pay you. So if your house appraises at $400,000, well, that is fine and dandy. But if the market is such that the only person who can come in is going to pay you $375,000, then guess what your house is worth? $375,000. So I'm not saying this to have everyone think they're not worth something. Another thing we run into as well is sellers. When sellers put their house up on the market, or you interview them to put their house up on the market, they're like, well, I raised my family here, and I've been here 25 years, and we put in a new kitchen, and we put in a new bathroom, and I want, $400,000 for this house. And I'm like, well, the average price in this house, in this neighborhood, is $275,000, and they have a cow. But my house is worth so much more. No, it's not. So again, I'm not trying to belittle your value. I'm just trying to have you put yourself and your service into the perspective of the person receiving it. A lot of times when I taught massage school, we ran into the same thing, that these students would be sitting there and they'd say, well, I'm worth $80 an hour. And I'd say, well, why do you think that? Because my teacher told me I'm worth $80 an hour. Okay. Well, if your teacher's out there doing massage and making $70 an hour, what makes you think as a brand new student you're worth $80? Because they said so. So it's really perceived value, right? You have to give a value to your customer that is perceived as $80 in order to retain a customer that's $80. So actually, it's how hard you want to work. If you put out a service for $80 and I put out a similar service for $60, then who are they going to go to? So I will surpass your quality and services for $20 less all day long, and I'll be booked out all day long. And I'm not here, and I don't want to cause a big argument, and I don't want to tell you you're not worth anything. I keep saying that. But I want you to think about what you're doing when you cut your prices, raise your prices, and then cut your schedule. So now, what is worth more to you? Would you rather have kept your prices where you are, or keep your prices where you are and be booked out satisfactorily? Or would you, if you're not booked out satisfactorily, bring in some lower price point services to get people in your door, and then you can raise your prices. Everybody has a price point, and everybody has a perceived value of what you're trying to sell. And honest to God, you're trying to sell something. You're selling your massage skills, you're selling your massage service, and that's the beauty of competition. So make sure what you're selling is worth the price point or exceeds your price point, and then people will rebook and come back. So when you're looking to raise your prices, ask yourself why. Why are you looking to raise your prices? I need to pay my bills, okay? I feel I'm worth more. I just went and learned how to do, candle dripping, and this is a wonderful thing and everyone's going to love it, and I'm worth more because I know how to drip candles, or whatever the new latest craze is that you've added to your repertoire. I'm not going to pay more for produce in Walmart because they've added yellow nectarines with their white nectarines and their red nectarines and all that kind of crap. I still want nectarines for 89 cents a pound, and I don't care what color you bring in to do that. So put yourself in the client's shoes when it comes to your pricing. How much would you pay you for the service you provide? And what do you do to provide an incredible service at a reasonable price? There are all sweet spots for all of these things, and that's what I'm trying to get you to think about. Don't just go hiking up your prices because you're worth more when you've got a perfectly great schedule. If you need to make more money, what are you spending money on that you could cut back? And is your massage money paying your household bills? If you're a brand new fledgling massage business, you should not be paying your bills with that money. You should be building your business with that and then having other income that pays your bills. If you live off your massage money, then you need to budget within that money or do more massages. And then once you are booked out completely, overwhelmed, and now need to cut back because you have 25 people calling you a week and you only have 20 massage appointments open, then you can raise your per hour. And that's my take. I would love to hear yours. Comment below. Enjoy your coffee, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.